Hey, Kenny, it's Kenny. This is entry number 17, and today I'm here with Dakota Freeman. What's up, dude?
What's up?
This is you're the first repeat person, I think, on the podcast. Maybe my girlfriend was. You're the second repeat person.
Second repeat from years ago.
Hell yeah. Or did you do it? Didn't you do it recently? Like a few months ago?
I might have, yeah.
With somebody. Was it me, you, and Dwayne Murphy Jr.?
Yeah, but I don't think that one was released.
Oh, okay. I think I did. I think I released that. I think I released that one, didn't I?
I don't
Maybe
even know.
maybe I didn't. Who knows? I did record a few that I didn't release, but I thought I got that one out.
I feel like we had like a real deep. I could be wrong, but I feel like we had a deep conversation.
Yeah, especially because Dwayne. Yeah, Dwayne is not. I'm not saying that we're not deep, but Dwayne is definitely he's like kind of like a robust, human. He's got a kid. He's got a wife. He's like.
He's very like when he talks, he sounds very like philosophical. Yeah. Like you're about to learn something.
I mean, that guy should have a podcast. He should definitely be podcasting all the time on his own thing, which I know he used to, but he should do it because he's very, very interesting.
Murphy time.
Murphy time. Was that what it was?
Well, that's what he should call it.
Yeah. What time is it? Murphy time.
Murphin time.
How have you been, dude?
I've been good.
I saw you for a minute. It's funny because I hung out with you last night at the Comedy Store, but it was like we were watching Potluck, so it was kind of
we didn't get to talk.
Yeah, we didn't talk at all. Like I got there, you were already there, and we didn't talk at all.
Politely watched open mic comedy together.
Yeah, politely shook our head at open mic comics getting to go up in front of people and fumbling the ball still.
Yeah, and then I tried to find other parking because I had to move my car, but it's too late.
No, too late. Nothing.
I just skedaddled.
Yeah. How because you don't go to the store like very often, right?
No.
Like how many potlucks do you think you've watched in the since the pandemic?
Since the pandemic, probably like 3 because I've been on it twice.
Nice.
Since I think in the same year because I think I've done it twice this year.
Yeah,
which is cool.
And how when you it's interesting to me because I go, if I'm in town, and it's also I try to take some weeks off. Like I didn't go last Monday because it was the week of Thanksgiving. So I was like, oh, there's gonna be a lot of people that are out of town, so it's like less for me to accomplish of just hanging out and showing face, which is like a major part of why I go every single week. Mm-hmm. But I did, so I didn't go the week of Thanksgiving, but even last night, I think that's why it was a little bit of a lighter night. Like there was a light crowd there, and I think that's because it was the Monday after the holiday weekend. I think a lot of people weren't like going out and doing shit.
Even the bar seemed kind of empty a little bit.
Well, I think the official holiday season, as far as comedy goes, starts like right before Thanksgiving, and then the shows in general are a little bit lighter until the first of the year, and then people are like, "Fuck all this holiday family shit. Let's go to see comedy.
Let's go laugh."
That's like their New Year's resolution. Let's go see comedy.
Live comedy.
So,
let's try live comedy.
Out of the 3 times you've been there, was that because that was a particularly bad night of comedy on Potluck?
Yeah, it felt pretty lackluster.
Yeah, like it was I mean, just starting with the host. The host is somebody that I love, Joel Jimenez. Like the crowd was not like on board to like have a fun time easily.
I got the sense that there were a lot of tourists. There are like these guys in shorts.
Yeah,
I feel like when you're wearing shorts at night, you're a tourist. I
feel like you just don't know because comedy clubs are particularly cold.
Yeah.
Right? And so you don't want to, I have no desire to wear shorts at a comedy club ever. As a patron, obviously as a performer, that's a big no-no.
They had fanny packs.
Yeah. I've never seen so many people just leave as well. Like people were just leaving.
Were they leaving?
Like there were a ton of people that were there like when you went up in the beginning, that by the time that I went up 2.5 hours basically after you went up. And there were There were a ton of the people that were there when you went up were not there when I went up.
Oh man, they're just like, what is this? Let's
Yeah.
go to the Laugh Factory.
Yeah, it was just as people were bombing, it's just like there would be a couple brutal sets in a row, and then a couple people would just like get up and kind of just like disappointingly wander out. I don't know. You missed what did you miss? You missed a bunch of people in a row. There was probably 5 to 8 people in a row that literally just went up and they're like, "You guys suck" to the crowd.
Oh, that's great.
And it was like we were talking about it on the patio, a couple of comics. And I was like, you can do that. One comic can do that. Like if you're on a show, like a regular show where it's not like a bunch of comics doing 3 minutes, one comic can go up and insult the crowd as a whole and be like, "You guys didn't show up tonight to see live comedy." You know what I mean? Like you can do that, but when just the next comic doing it again, it's like once a couple people do it, you're kind of just saying like, "Hey, this is a bad show."
Yeah. Everybody's scared.
And then somebody said the last straw was like somebody said, "Yeah, that's why these tickets. Now you see why these tickets were $5."
Oh no. They broke the spell.
Yeah, 100%. And then the people probably were putting it together, being like, "Damn, I should have just spent $20 to go to the main room."
Yeah. Waited like an hour.
Yeah, just I should have got on the site, got on the fucking the standby list or whatever it's called. But yeah, it was an interesting night. What's been going on with you and your comic book shit?
Oh, I've just been writing a ton of it. Went to a convention, sold a bunch, which was dope.
Nice.
Got to sign. People wanted me to sign it, and that was like kind of cool.
Nice. So do you have like comic, like fucking glossy, like
physical, yeah, copies.
That's sick.
They're just, and it like looks like an actual comic book. That's what's the coolest. Like if I bought a comic at the store, that's what's so cool about it.
And it was something you wrote or like co-wrote?
I co-wrote it with my best friend from high school.
Hell yeah.
It's kaiju giant monsters fighting a robot pope and wacky shit.
Like it's like the Pope. It's like supposed to be the Pope is now a robot.
Yeah, he's like a mech suit
controlled by AI.
No, the Pope's driving the.
Oh, a mechanized Pope.
It's like a Power Ranger Pope, basically.
Were you ever into Armored Core?
Yeah.
I never played the game, but I played the demo. You remember? Were you a part of demo discs?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I remember that demo disc actually.
Dude, some demo discs. Okay, demo discs. If you don't know what they are, and you're watching or listening, it would just be little chunks of the game that you could like try out, and a demo disc would have like multiple games on one demo disc. It would be like 6 games. And so I think Armored Core was on the same demo disc as like the first or second Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And that was like a really good demo disc. It'd be like, well, I would play the Tomb Raider demo, and it's just like, yeah, you would just play, I don't know, something like Tomb Raider, you'd have like 15 minutes.
Yeah, or like just a level. But there'd be like 5 games you could play. Like, I remember I played Conker's Bad Fur Day on one of them. The remake.
Yeah. And there would be like, this is also back when, because I feel like nowadays people that have video game systems have a bunch of games. Like back in the day, people would have a console and only have like 3 games for the console. And there would be no like, hey, I play this sports game so I get a new one every year. Like it would be like, no, dude, I had MLB 99, and that's the only baseball game like I ever had. I had Madden 2001, and I never got like the next Madden I got after 2001. I think was 07, and that was when I like got a Wii.
Well, that's when games are cheaper then too. You had less. Now games are like $70, and you're buying a bunch.
But with inflation, our games, I'm wondering if it's like the same. Is inflation gone up and it's about this? It's like about the same, because what were games like $30 back then?
When I was I feel like when I was like at high like 40, 50, I think seemed like the average.
Yeah, like I wonder what Tomb Raider 1 was when it came out on PlayStation 1. Like how much?
That'd be a good. Probably like $30 or $40. I couldn't imagine it being more than that.
Yeah, just video games. But that was also a time where like video games would were literally like video games rot your brain, and video games are useless. Like you're wasting your time.
They still get like kind of slammed on now too, I think. But I feel like people don't take them seriously as like narratives,
Right.
But there's a lot of cool video game like story narratives that and things you could hit in a video game. Like you're so immersive that you can't get out of like just watching a movie. You feel more into the.
Yeah,
That's what I love about video games right now.
I think
like movies.
I think it took I think honestly, video game cell phones have taken like the brunt of the negativity from video games, because there used to be a lot of but I think they're more like you're just scrolling on your phone is going to rot your brain now. Like that's more of like the acceptable like anti technology is like, yeah, the cell phone's killing you. But I mean, because there's people that are professional gamers now and professional streamers. Speaking of which, I just got on Twitch, so follow me. Hey Kenny, it's Kenny on Twitch, playing some Call of Duty.
Nice.
Have you played any Warzone or anything recently?
I haven't played any Warzone, but I've been playing Mortal Kombat, and it's probably one of the most toxic online
really
communities ever.
I hear Hubner in his room just yelling at people and fucking, that's right, bitch.
Yeah,
that's right, bitch. Like I hear that a lot.
He's a toxic person. Because I try to say like, oh, good, but this was one guy was just like, suck my dick.
Are you talking to each other the whole game? Like, is it?
Yeah. So I on the controller that like has like a speaker, so if you're not wearing headphones, the voice comes out of the controller.
Ooh, I think that's more jarring than just having it in your headphones.
Yeah, so a guy's just yelling at you like this guy like he started. Some people they just I don't know. It's like they're taking out all their frustrations and anger, like you're their like dad or something, and
right.
beat them, and they're like, "Fuck you, you fucking." Fuck suck, like it's like they get so intense.
But it's like it's not even a game where you can like cheat or anything. So it's just like you just lost and you're not as good.
Yeah,
like that's just what happened.
You could kind of like spam moves. The guy got mad at me because I was blocking, which I thought it was a basic. He was like, "Were you afraid of you blocking?" And then I won. I beat him, and then he didn't say anything. And then I got the toxic in me, and I was like, "Who just won? Who just won? Stop your fucking!" And then I'm like, "Man, this game really turns you into a bad person."
The game like that for me is Call of Duty. Is not Warzone, because you're not talking to many to the opponent or anything, but when we're in the lobby and stuff and people talk, like no matter what, if somebody says something when you're in the lobby, I always go, shut the fuck up, like no matter and it's like, well, I don't know why I do that. Like I'm sorry if you play Call of Duty with me and like you talk, but I mean everybody usually laughs, like everybody. Yeah. And then somebody will go to talk again and I'll go, I said shut up.
I think it's just because it's like there's no face, so you feel like you're almost like godlike. You can just say whatever.
Well, it's also the people that are at this point, the people that are just like randomly talking are the lame ones. Like because I feel like video games have gotten away from that. Like it used to be a big thing. Like back in the day, playing Call of Duty, it used to be so much shit talking, like going on, especially in the lobby, in between games when you're like all back in there. But I feel like that's kind of gone down. Like people really like talk to their party. Mm-hmm. And like the people they're playing with more than they talk to, just strangers and shit. So especially with streaming, I think like, people are basically talking to their like the people watching their stream, and shit like that. I realized because I posted a clip of the newest Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3. I posted a clip of me sniping, and I realized I anger people because I didn't know, because I'm not like that much of a video game like nerd. Or more like pro player, obviously. Like I just play video games and have some fun, and so people are mad at me for hard scoping. Do you know what that is?
Is that like no scoping, where you just on it? Yeah, I know you could lock in the older Call of Duties. You could lock on automatic if you just zoom the scope real quick. It does like an automatic lock on.
Oh, so they're saying quick. They want me to quick scope, so they want me to just like pull the scope up, go right to the person and shoot, and then exit the scope, instead of like being like an actual, I don't know, like I think of it like an actual sniper. Like I'm sitting in a place, I'm like scanning, I'm like, oh, there's a guy, okay, I see him, and doop, you're dead. And then oh, there's another guy over there, like doop, you're dead. And they're like, no, it's supposed to be like you go into the scope, shoot the guy and kill him. You go into the scope, shoot the guy, kill him. And when you and if you go into the scope and they're like, if you have to go like this, it's like you go out of the scope and go back in. Like quick scoping is what it's called, which is like a ridiculous. It's ridiculous to me.
Yeah,
that it's like, wait, I have to play the game this certain way for your respect.
I think their idea is because I used to play this guy in my algebra class in high school where he was like, let's no scope after school. And that's like, he'd do that, but it'd be like 101, like, but I think it's like, because when you lock on, it automatically, when you zoom in, it like locks onto the target automatically. So I think if you just keep doing that, it's like you have a better chance, I think.
Okay.
I think is what the idea is, but then, I don't know, if you want to be more immersed, you just play the game how you want to play.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
That's what I said to the Mortal Kombat when he's like, "Why are you playing?" I'm like, "I'm just playing the fucking game." Dude.
Yeah, I'm using
playing
the like
game.
the. It's not like you have a game genie in. Did you ever play with a game genie? Do you know what that is?
Was that what the Sega?
They had it on on Super Nintendo for sure. They had it on Game Boy, and it was a thing that you put into the system, and then you put the game into that. And then you could do all kinds of like cheats and like special things. Like it would like basically like looking back, it like let you hack the game almost.
Oh, so they're like mods almost.
Yeah, like it would just let you cheat. It would
That's dope.
would let you do different cheats. And if you put in like I think you had to put in. I don't remember because I'm just gonna make it up. I don't remember how it worked. I also had one of the first websites that I visited, very frequently. That was Cheat Planet.
Oh, I know.
Do you remember Cheat Planet?
Yeah.
And so a game would come out, and then you'd go to Cheat Planet, and you'd see all the different cheats. I mean, of course, like the most basic one would be like the Grand Theft Auto games.
Oh yeah.
Is you go to Cheat Planet, and that's where you'd fucking get all the guns and. I just want a tank, and you'd be able to like make a tank appear right in front of you from a different. It's so wild that was a huge thing, and I don't think it is. In Grand Theft Auto, you can do it now still.
Yeah, but the cheat turn is fun because like in San Andreas, you could get like flying cars where you're like flying in the car around, and you like super punch where you punch people and they like explode.
That's what I want. I want to build a PC. Legitimately mate because I just got an Xbox Series X, but I want to build a PC for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Oh, okay, nice.
Like, because I want to be able to do like I want to be able to like because Brian has a PC, and I want to like be able to play with Brian and do like the role play shit maybe, or just do something like we could be cops and just be partners and fucking go randomly fucking roll around town.
That's what's cool. There's so much. That's if you get a PC, that'll open up the game because it's like I'm playing a whole bunch of stuff. I want just like indie stuff, and it's good. It's the future of gaming.
Are you a big Grand Theft Auto guy?
Yeah, I remember the first time I played Grand Theft Auto Vice City was at my friend's birthday party when I was like a little kid. And we were like cutting hookers' heads off, and we were thinking this is the greatest shit ever. And my mom got really pissed.
Yeah, I remember my mom was always cool with like all the my parents were cool with like all video games, but then I had a friend that lived down the street, and his parents were very religious, and he wanted me to bring over. He had a PlayStation, and I had Resident Evil 2. And he was like, bring it over. Come on. I'm like, dude, your mom's not going to let you play this game. Like, this is just going to end up as a problem. And so he was so mad at me because I went over there, and then I was like, look, can you take a look at this game and see if you're cool with him playing this? Because I don't know, I'm probably like 10 or 11 years old. And I'm just like, I don't want you to come in here and we're playing it, and then you're mad, right? And then she comes in, and she's watching it. She like literally watches like 10 minutes of play. And the thing that made her say no was I literally like there's a woman zombie and I just like shoot her in the face, and she's just like, like she was literally like fine with it being men, but like violence against women.
Oh, so she was fine with you killing the male zombies?
Yes, she was fine with the male zombies being killed, but the fact that it was a female zombie, and she was like, look, just violence against women. Like unfortunately, she was like, I really appreciate you. Like asking for permission and everything, but it's just too much.
I feel like that's actually inclusive. Like women can get shot in the face too.
Hell yeah.
Just like that. It's pro women actually.
No, she was like, she wanted special treatment for women. She was like, you need to let the women zombies bite you.
No, not in this America. They get shot in the face.
Were you I know we're jumping around. I'll go back to Grand Theft Auto, but just guy brought it up. Were you a Resident Evil guy?
Yeah, I've been playing the newer ones too lately, like Village.
How are they?
They're really good. The last few, were like first person, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then the story is really good. And then I played Resident Evil 4. They just had a remake that was.
I saw that. I think Huebner might have got picked that up.
Yeah, that was really dope.
Is it all the same? Like the same? Because I was a big, like I said, Resident Evil 2 is my Resident Evil. Like that's the best one. Like I played some of the other ones, but that was like the one where I'm like to me the nostalgia and all of that. And if I remember, what was it? Ink ribbons that helped you save the game? Like you needed ink ribbons for the.
Oh, well, I know the typewriters.
Yeah.
But you should try the they have a remake of the second one. That's really fun.
Is it?
Yeah, you should try that. You should get that one. It's like it's just like instead of the fixed angles, you have like the third person.
Oh, okay.
So it's more easier to control, but it's pretty scary with the tyrant, the blue guy who chases you. He's in it. That one.
Oh shit.
He's running around.
The liquors.
Yeah, the liquors are in there too.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that as the style of play where it's like every time you walk into a room, it's just whatever angle the camera is for that room, and then you have to like go investigate stuff. So you can't like go around things and like look closer at shit. It's just like the angle it is.
It makes it more scary because it's like you don't have a lot of control of what's going on.
You're just looking for your herbs.
Your herbs.
Is there still herbs in the new ones?
Oh, there's still herbs. You're mixing the herbs, healing
yeah.
yourself with the herbs, eating an egg every once in a while.
Yeah, it's I remember like Resident Evil 2 was the same game twice because you could play with like Leon or Claire, and then Claire would have like she would come across like a little kid, and then you had to be the little kid, and
that's
was like
all in the second one.
That
or
was
in the remake.
That was like a pain in the ass when you had to be the little kid and do shit because they wouldn't like give the little kid guns, which was really annoying. But yeah, I really enjoyed Resident Evil 2. I should pick up the remake. I think
and 4 is really good too.
Oh yeah.
Have you played 4?
I don't think I did. I think I played 2. I think I played 1, 2, and 3.
I love 4.
And then the online one. I definitely played that one a little bit. Like I at least rented it and played it for a few weeks. The one where I think you could get into like a crew of like 4 people, and then you go in the game, and it's like that's how you're like play. I remember because it was like early on in these types of games, so it wasn't like perfect. The way everything like now with these types of games, there's like they have like better ways of saving, better ways of like executing it. But it was like that first whatever the first Resident Evil was that had that where you like played online with like a group of people. I tried that a little bit, but going back to Grand Theft Auto. So Vice City was your first one. Did you end up playing it a lot, or you just played it at a party?
Yeah, I played it a bunch, and then eventually I played the third one a lot too. I really liked the third one because I liked the mob story in that one, and the New York stuff.
So they remade those, and because you have a Switch, right?
Yeah.
They have it on the Switch, and it's all three. It's Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
That's cool. Yeah, I've seen like. I like the characters. They look really wonky.
In those ones? In all of those?
In the remakes, they look like they're like puffy, like they.
Yeah, they look a little like bloated.
Yeah,
like they've been in the water a little too long. I really only played. I bought that right when it came out, and I've really only played Vice City. I've played like a bunch of Vice City, just trying. I still haven't beat it. I've never fucking beat that game. I need to buckle down and do it.
I can never beat the very last mission.
Really?
I got to the very last mission. I can never beat it.
Oh shit!
When you find out the one dude's like
Lance is because I know Lance, but even though I've never gotten there. Like, I know he like betrays you, the black guy.
Yeah, and then they all you have that mansion, and then you're like basically Tony Montana fighting off all these.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever play the Scarface game?
I did not.
Oh, dude, the Scarface game is so cool because it's like an alternate reality if Tony Montana survived Scarface.
Oh, okay.
So the game starts off at the end of the movie where you turn around and you kill the guy who's about to shoot you.
Oh, okay.
And then you just go on a rampage and you're like just blowing everybody up, getting out of the mansion, and then you're trying to rebuild your empire.
When was it? What system was this?
It's an old game. It was PS2. So.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never played that game. I got so stuck on each Grand Theft Auto. Between like having like a Grand Theft Auto and then having like Madden, because I was like playing football games and shit. It's like I put so much time into, and it's funny that I never beat any of the Grand Theft Auto games, mainly because once I unlock the entire map, I'm just fucking running around and doing shit and then and fucking around. And I would play it a lot with friends. Like, it wouldn't be me playing like just me by myself. I either had my friends over or my brother. And so and I'm sure you've done this, when you play with friends or family or whatever, it's you need to go on a rampage.
Yeah.
And you can play until you die and then or get arrested, and then it's my turn. And then you'd always be like, there'd always be that asshole that's like trying to set up. Like, well, no, I'm just trying to get, I want to get, like, let me get a helicopter and a car and take them to the right places so I can really try to get away and everything. And then you'd have the friend that would always go to the pay and sprays and like get the 5 stars off of them and start all over. And it was everybody trying to work the system to be able to play.
Shoot a lady in the face.
Yeah.
And then you got to get shot in the face.
100%.
That's how this works.
And then my thing would be to, we ended up having to have the rule we had a saved game where you didn't have all the guns. You only had like the guns that we had gotten up to that point. And because they made this rule because of me, because I would just have the rocket launcher and then just the rocket launcher and the sniper rifle and get on top of a building and just rocket launch, snipe people, rocket launch. The helicopters come, you just rocket launch them. Like, you have like the fucking SWAT team, those like Ferrari cars that are like the FBI. And it's just like, I'm just rocket launching everybody. And so we made the rule that you can't use the rocket launcher and the sniper rifle.
You're not friends with them anymore, are you?
No, dude. No, they took away my favorite thing.
Such is life.
Yeah, that is a very good metaphor for life. Wild. Not that I wanted. We don't have to like talk about this for a while, but this is just something that over the past couple of days that is like, so like the whole Israel-Palestine thing is going on, crazy shit, like war. There's obviously that's already like a war situation that's going on, which could get to something bigger. So I've been kind of like listening to podcasts. I listen to Rogan a lot, and Dave Smith was on Rogan, and he mentioned this like podcast that's like a series of podcasts that's like 25 or 30 hours total, and it breaks down like the history of the like conflict of that conflict, but it goes back talking about like I had no idea, like this just shows my kind of like ignorance. I had no idea how long, like, because I think of like Jewish people being persecuted as like this was like a World War II, like Hitler started this, but I didn't realize like for like before that, like there were like hundreds if not thousands of years, or like 1,000 years where like Jews were just being like persecuted constantly. And like
it's like Egyptian times.
And like I knew that there were like a couple things happened, right? But I didn't realize that it was like just constant, like they're just like living their regular life, and then people are mad at them because like if like a plague or a disease came through, they'd be like, the Jews, they put stuff in the water and that's why we're all dying. And then they would just go kill them all. It's like
are people nice? Dude, the British used to just cut off Irish people's heads just because they were Irish.
Yeah, that's wild. We're so
just to do it.
We're so lucky that we don't live in a time where you're just like got your fingers crossed.
Yeah, we just Matt Rife, we just want to kill him, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, fucking. That's all. That's the only person. How did you? Yeah, but that was me just being like, yeah, I just found out about how heavily the Jews have been persecuted throughout history.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like I said, I thought World War II was enough. I thought that one time that was like terrible. I thought that was enough, but it's much more. It actually makes way more sense to me about like how Jewish people are like, we have to speak up about anti-Semitism. I'm like, look, dude, this like happened a couple times. Like, it's like, oh no, this happened like thousands of times, like all over the fucking place. Like, that's wild. So
well, that's the thing. I think it's everybody has their side right now, but it's not. It's like it's not black or white. That's not how things work. It's like,
I've come down to the conclusion that like war sucks.
Yeah, that's like, kind of the stamp. Yeah,
it's not. There's not going to be like war happening, and you're going to feel like good about stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like World War II. Like, how many kids were getting killed that are living it, because you're having the war in Europe, or even in the like all the islands, on the Pacific front. It's like how many kids were dying in those and everything. It's just something, like I said, all of this makes me like, oh, I never like thought of this.
Yeah, it's like everybody's got blood on their hands.
Yeah, that's just like what war. That's like what war is, and that's why we should probably like try to not have it.
Yeah,
like no matter what.
But if you say that, take your conspiracy asshole.
Yeah,
people don't like anti-war. They don't like that talk for some reason. You'd think it'd be a very like easy.
Because if you're if you're clearly on one side or the other, I think somebody saying they don't want war, they just like lump you in with the opposite side. They'll be like, if you're talking to somebody, like at this point, if you're talking to somebody that's like Jewish, you're like, no war. They're like, oh, okay, so you think it was okay for like October 7th, and you think there should be nothing should happen. And then if you tell somebody, if you're talking to like a Palestinian person, and you're like, yeah, there should be no war. They're like, what? Like our people shouldn't be free. We shouldn't fucking like have our own land and shit. And then I didn't even know the history of Israel and like Palestine, like how like the Palestinian area was like ruled by the Ottoman Empire, and then after World War II is like I knew they they split up. They like, but it's like, yeah, you took like land from somebody in order to give it to somebody else. It's just all like very wild. It's very wild that like it is like you're saying, like there is anybody that would think that it's black or white, like one side or the other, especially if you're not either of the like warring parties. Like if you're not a Jewish person or not a Palestinian, but you're like heavily like on that side of being like, it's almost like a head scratcher.
Yeah.
Like, and
then when you hear like how that person, like their takes, they sound like very extreme.
Yes.
From each side, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's honestly how I am with basically with everything. Like that's how I find myself being like kind of just in the middle on everything. Even something that I have an opinion about, I'm more like well, just because we were talking about Matt Rife, even like because there's people that have these like that's got heavy opinions one way or the other right now. Especially with his special coming out and shit. Did you watch it?
I watched like the first probably 5 or 6 minutes, and then I skipped. And I was trying to, I'm trying not to be biased, but as a craft of comedy, like loving the craft of comedy, I wanted to like, all right, what's this about? Yeah. And it was all just, to me, like I just wasn't into it. Just a lot of hacky, like, a girl's got a black eye, or this. I was on a plane and they wanted me to take my bag from my seat, and I'm like, I'm not doing, and just had like a bunch of like kind of like privilege, like what do you? It doesn't have a lot to talk about,
right?
I think
so I was talking to somebody at the store actually last night about it. Like obviously right now we're on a podcast talking about this, but this is really like you and I we're friends having a conversation about it, and that's what I think the issue is it's so much of it is like a lot of comics feel like it's like they have to give their take because it's something that's being talked about. But I think that it's like reserved for exactly what what you just said, where you're trying to like look at the craft of comedy. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what it is like kind of watching it. And then we get together and we're like, hey, did you check that out? And it's, and then just kind of, I think more the reason why it's controversial is because a lot of comics are like, wow, it's not like the strongest set. Mm-hmm. And he's like the top, let's just say top 10.
My grandma, during Thanksgiving, my grandma goes, I've been listening to this new comedian. He's hilarious. And I just said, is it Matt Rife? And she's like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So my grandma loves Matt Rife.
Yeah, my mom loves Matt Rife.
And she doesn't have, her sense of humor is pretty awful. But she's like, he's great.
Yeah, it's very odd. I mean, like I said, congratulations to him because that's what one camp of comedians, mm-hmm. Their whole thing is like he made $20 million. He made $20 million, and I'm like, yeah, I get that, but is that what you is? I don't know. Like not to sound like a fucking like I'm just being like the art of comedy.
Yeah.
But it's like is that what you like? I don't think. Fuck. Can I say this? Can I honestly say, like, I'm like, would I be down with putting out something that's subpar for $20 million. Like you'd say you'd have to. Like you'd almost be like a fool. It's like that thing of being like, it's like, it's like the same thing as being like, would you suck a dick for $20 million? And people be like, no, I'd never do that. I would never. I'll be like, of course I would. Of course. If you have $20 million, I will suck your dick if you give it to me.
You want to put out some half-assed material for...
Yeah, I guess my answer, but it's hard for me to put my head into that space because my answer is kind of like, well, yeah, I just wouldn't do mediocre material. Like I just wouldn't.
He probably is gonna get better too. It's like he got this, that he made it.
My theory is, he has 3 hours out, right?
Yeah, I tried to watch another. I think like the crowd work.
So he has an hour he has an hour called OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. He has an hour at the Vulcan. And then now he has his Netflix special.
The Vulcan one. That's the one I tried to watch.
Was it all crowd work?
I think no. He did material, and then he did some stuff about his like granddad died. So he's like,
yeah,
this is for you, granddad.
Yeah, because he was like very close to his grandfather, I think, and it was like a big, like obviously anybody's grandfather dying is not good, but it seemed like it hit him very hard and everything. But my theory is he's 28 years old and he's put out 3 different hours. If you were to take the best of those 3 hours, that's probably like this one special he should have. But he's like doing, like again, he's trying
to pump it out.
He made $20 million, and he's also a product like we all are. We're a product of like the time and the like where we're at in the like comedy space, and that's where we're at. I mean, so many people are coming out with specials, like it's pretty crazy. Like the YouTube specials are a little out of hand. Like I won't mention any names. Like again, not trying to like disparage everybody, but like there's a one that I watched from a comic that I was like, okay, I've like seen their clips and the clips are pretty good, and I put on their YouTube special, and the special literally starts out. They come out and they're like, hey, this is my. They literally like start talking about like, this is my special. This is like, I'm so excited to record this, and then it'll be like, how long have you guys been together? And I'm like, man, if you're coming out and doing like a special, number one, I don't think you should do it unless you've been able to tour with that material and do. I'm saying one
special.
show.
It's like the moment when you're supposed to have it, right? It's
100%.
Like when you have it, it makes sense that you're having it.
Yeah, but now people think that they're gonna like release it, and like that's the thing that's gonna make them huge, all because like a couple people have been able to do that.
And they were already like kind of working, already on the up and up. So it's like they had, I feel like a little more like push. It feels like kind of random people are just. It's like I've never seen or heard of this person.
Like I could do a special right now if I wanted to. Like I mean, I couldn't like produce it myself mostly. I would just need to like rent or borrow. Like people, I know people with the same camera that I have. I could do 3 of these cameras. Do a special. I have the material to like not even do any riffing or crowd work. Like I have the hour of material, but it's like, no, I need to be on the road doing that hour. Like have that shit as good as like when I'm doing the same 15-minute set for on most shows for like 3 months. Like that shit just feels like fucking like sharp. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I just can't imagine doing a special and it not feeling sharp and it not being to like, okay, I haven't been to Boston yet, so I'm going to record my special in Boston with a whole sold-out, 2 shows of people that have never even seen me live. You know what I mean? That they're getting to experience it all for the first time. Because I think that's another thing with these specials is people are ending up. It's like they're kind of like building it a little bit and doing like some practice runs. It's like if I recorded a special here at the Rec Room, I think that would be a huge mistake. You know what I mean? Not because of the venue obviously is nice. The like aesthetics of it would be good. But it would be the crowd would end up being sold out, and it would end up being like at least 50% upwards to like it could be like 80% people that have seen me already. And it's just like you're not gonna get the reaction you want because we've all seen those specials too, where it is like a crowd of people where they've seen the person. You can kind of hear the forced laughter.
I can recognize a person's laugh if I know. I'm like, I know who's laughing. I know that laugh if I know the. There's a couple people
like Brian. Like in some of my clips, if like Brian was in the room, you can like hear his laugh in the back, which is hilarious.
I would like to, my kind of goal, not to do it special, but I would like to record an album of just kind of like a stamp of all the material I've been thinking about, like, because of all like just the material I've had. I'd like to like do an album with that. That's what I'm like to work towards.
I would
But like you said, it's hard to find the longer set. So I would like to be on, before I do that, I would like to feel very tight about it.
Yeah, I would like to do an album, but I feel like that's like
I don't know if that's like a debt. I love comedy albums. That's something that's been like a thing of like, if I've always wanted, but I don't know if they're kind of like dead. Like it seems like nobody really releases.
That's exactly what I'm saying is I don't see very many people releasing albums because of how easy like having a YouTube special has become.
Mm-hmm.
Like how accessible like good cameras are, and I mean and now there's a whole fucking other business within comedy of people who do like I do all this. I have all this equipment and I just do it mainly for myself. Once in a while, I'm willing to do other shit. I'm also like hard to work with. I feel like I feel like when it comes,
all good artists are, right?
well, because I don't want to just. I'm not just like a hired camera. Like I'm not just like where you're like if you're like I wouldn't even use you as an example. Like let's say like XYZ comic is just like, hey, this is my idea for a sketch. This is what this is like. It's like I only want to do stuff where like I'm like, oh, that's your idea. And then I'm like involved in the idea process of like making something good, rather than just being like a hired camera who's like, I'll shoot and edit this for you, and then it ends up being like bad. That's because I've also done that. I've like shot stuff for some people and just been like, oh, this didn't, like, it's not even, my name's not even on it. Like no one would ever know that I did it, but I'm just like, well, I don't want to spend my time making something that I'm not like passionate about.
It's like soul sucking.
Yeah. Something I am excited about. We're Xavier and I are meeting with Connor McSpadden next week. So by the time this comes out, it'll actually be, this will have already happened, but we're going to basically go forward with trying to, because he like writes for TV, pitches stuff, does all that. And I was just like talking to him last night and passing about this idea that like me and Xavier were talking about like way before the pandemic. And it's basically taking Yelp reviews and then making like basically like Yelp reviews and doing like shorties watching shorties or like drunk history with Yelp reviews.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So like having somebody like narrate, somebody's like reading the Yelp review,
and it's like acted out.
and then it's actually happening, and then hopefully when someone's like if they're like, and then I told them shut the fuck up, like it'll have them like mouthing, like the actors like mouthing.
That's funny. Yeah.
And everything, and I just like mentioned it to Connor in passing, and then he was like, that's a great idea. Like let's like I would love to help you guys like do that. He's like, I can submit it to my manager. And after we like, I guess it's like a one sheet. Like I told him, because he's like, why haven't you done anything with that? And I'm like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I wouldn't know the first step to like, I have this idea, because I have like a ton of ideas. I have like obviously like shit that I would like to do, but so I'm excited to like learn the process of that awesome. even more so.
So you can make it a pilot, kind of? Is that kind of idea? Like
he presented multiple options on how to do it. But the way it's called a one sheet is what we're doing, and it's just one piece of paper that gives you the like synopsis and gives you all the information that you would need to go forward with it. Because what he was saying is what we'd be trying to do is like pitch it to somebody who would then pay for it to be done. And so because the way I've always thought of stuff is like, again, I have the equipment, is like, okay, now we have to shoot this, and then that becomes like the daunting, like harder part, especially if something like of that nature of like shooting it all, then somebody's got to edit the whole entire thing, and you know what I mean, and it coming out like very professional. Because when it comes to that, it's such like a bigger type of project that I'm like, fuck, worrying about the technical side of it and like lighting everything and stuff, and then also the creative side is like probably really would be really hard.
Yeah.
So, but I'm excited to learn it, and then knowing how to do that means that it's like, I mean, I constantly have ideas. I'm not saying that make some good ideas or that they would like go somewhere, but it's like I have a ton of ideas of like shit. I mean, fuck, just one of the ones I was telling Xavier is like, especially like other like things that are like popular, it's because I'm always like kind of inspired to go the opposite way. Like, have you noticed how many like crowd work clips and then how many comedy shows there are about dating, like for like trying to hook
Oh,
people up.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I've noticed that. Like, yeah.
So
Totally.
I wanted to make one, not a live show, but make some type of like recorded like content, like something like that could go on TV or streaming, something that's breakups.
Oh, okay.
That's like people like breaking up and like splitting their like it's like, oh, I have to move out of here, and like splitting like it being the break, because everything's all about like, oh, like because that's the thing is all these people where it's like, let's hook these people up, let's like get like do this, you let's get you to fuck, like all of that stuff. It's like most of those people don't, nothing comes of that stuff. So it would be like, I don't know, I just think it would be more like
break these people up.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Just whisper, hey, you're better than him. Your job's better. You could get
the closest. Your job's better. You could get a way better. You could get a way better dude than this.
Right.
The closest thing I can think of is there's a show called The Ultimatum on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I watched that show.
So did you watch both seasons? Did you only see the first season?
I think only maybe the first one.
Because there's a newer season where we watched me and my girlfriend watched like 2 episodes of it. We haven't like revisited it yet, but that show's fucked up, dude. That show like if you haven't seen the show, they have these couples that have been together for, most of them a good amount of time, because they're at a point where like what's happened is one of the people in the couple is giving an ultimatum to the other one of, when we leave this show, like we're either going to leave broken up or we're going to leave engaged. And so what they do is they get the couples together that are all on the show, like let's say it's like 6 couples or whatever, and then they hang out with each other, like it's like they like a mixer, like mingle and meet each other, and then they have to decide who they're going to live with for, I think it's 3 weeks. They're going to like live with one of these people and like have the way they present it is like almost like they have like a faux relationship, but it can be like whatever those 2 people agree on. And so you see some people that like, honestly, they don't even really get along that well or like each other that much, but they kind of get stuck together, because there's the ones that like are like, oh, I like this person, like and then there's the ones where they're kind of like stuck together. So like their 3 weeks for the ones that are stuck together are them like being like these like roommates that like talk about relationship stuff sometime. And then there's other people that are just like fucking. Nice. that are just like completely like with each other and like fucking, and makes it like a huge messy situation where it's like, I can't remember the first season. I think like some of them get married. I think you have a little bit of everything. Some of them like get engaged at the end. Some of them like literally go with another person, and then some of them just like leave single, which is fucking wild. That they the wild one is when they like just go with another person. They're like completely like, oh, I'm kind of into this.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, it was just 3 weeks that it took for you to get completely out of your relationship.
Whole relationship goes to shambles.
And the kicker is, after the 3 weeks, then they do another 3 weeks where they live with the person they came with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then they have to decide.
And then they have to decide what.
Have you seen F-Boy Island?
I have not watched.
That's like the horniest reality show. The whole concept of the show is just getting everybody to F each other and then get pissed about it.
Wait, is that the one where they're not supposed, like bad things happen?
Oh yeah, they're not supposed to. Like they're like, oh yeah, that's right. But they do it anyway, and that's what makes it.
And then, but something they lose money or something.
They get, I think they get kicked off. They like get banished to like. There's like this little. It seems very scripted, but there's like this little outskirts area that all the F boys go to, and they're like, "Welcome." They're like building shit, like they're Castaway or something.
Jesus,
just a bunch of F boys.
Yeah, that seems like a fucking Gen. What are we? Is it Gen X or Gen Z? Gen Z, right?
Yeah,
that seems like the like most Gen Z show that I've heard of. Fucking wild. I think we're good on time because this place is going to open up in like 8 minutes, and then they're going to turn the music on, and we're gonna lose our peace and quiet.
All right.
The dude's done playing pinball.
Oh,
he kind of quit. Like I feel like right when we started because I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Too much. We fucking perfect timing. Do you have anything to promote? Where should people get your fucking? Can they buy your comic book online or anything?
Yeah, it's called Goliath. You could get it off the Bird's Eye Comics website or their Instagram, Bird's Eye Comics, and then my Instagram, Dakota Comedy Master.
Oh, yeah. You should do your master classes again, dude.
I am. I'm actually, yeah. There's stuff in the works. I'm doing, yeah, we'll talk about it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. For me, hey, Kenny, it's Kenny.com. For New Year's Eve, I'll be in Tulsa. The end of January, I'll be in Little Rock. Beginning of February, I'll be in Philly. And then on the list of spots, like Arizona, Boston, Austin, Fort Worth, going all over the place. So please buy tickets. I'll be going everywhere with Zach Holmes from Jackass Forever. So should be fun.
Go to it.
Later.